How do we evaluate limits by rationalizing? Well, rationalizing describes when we have something like a square root here. And when we evaluate this limit using substitution, we would get 5 minus 4 is 1, minus 1 over 5 minus 5, 0 over 0. So this method of substituting doesn't work. So what we're going to do instead is going to be rationalize, and in this case it's the numerator, but it could be the numerator or denominator. Multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate. So that's keeping the square root and the other term the same, but changing the sign. And evaluate the limit by substitution. So instead of substituting in, because it was indeterminate form, I'm going to multiply by the conjugate, square root of x minus 4, plus, because this was minus, 1. And then the square root of x minus 4 plus 1. So the numerator, when we multiply that out, we got the first term squared, minus 1 times 1, over, and now we can write this as x minus 5 times square root of x minus 4 plus 1. And this is still the limit as x approaches 5. So the numerator now simplifies to x minus 5, and then we have x minus 5 as a factor in the denominator, square root of x minus 4 plus 1. So because this is still a limit, we can cancel those out and get the limit as x approaches 5 of 1 over square root of x minus 4 plus 1. Now we can substitute in and get 1 over 1 plus 1, which is 1/2. So that's what we did. We multiplied the numerator and denominator by the conjugate and then evaluated the limit by substitution. So usually you will also have to cancel out a factor, something like x minus 5 and x minus 5. Here, if we plugged in 7, we get 0 over 0. So we're going to multiply by square root of 2x plus 2 plus 4. Again, we're going to change that sign. Square root of 2x plus 2 plus 4. The numerator, x minus 7 times our conjugate. In the denominator, we square the first term. Square 4 and put subtraction between them. The limit as x approaches 7. Now, the denominator can be simplified. This is 2x minus 14. I'm going to leave the numerator the same. And this denominator can be factored. This is important that it can be factored this way because now we can cancel out the x plus 7 in the numerator. So because those cancel out, now we don't have indeterminate form anymore. We have the limit as x approaches 7 of square root of 2x plus 2 plus 4 over 2. And we can substitute in, so we get square root of 14 plus 2 plus 4 over 2. That's 4 plus 4 over 2. 8 over 2 is 4. Thanks.